There is a version of you that hasn't been unlocked yet. A version so disciplined, so calculated, so relentlessly consistent that if you met him today, you wouldn't recognize him. You wouldn't admire him. You would feel uneasy around him. Because this version of you doesn't negotiate with weakness. He doesn't ask for motivation. He doesn't wait to feel ready. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's about waking up early, eating clean, or grinding harder than everyone else. That's surface-level nonsense. Real discipline is deeper. Real discipline is the decision to act despite emotion. It's the ability to look directly at your fear, your fatigue, your excuses, your comfort, and move anyway. Discipline is not a habit. It's a confrontation. An internal war where weakness doesn't get a vote. You don't manage excuses, you eliminate them. Machiavelli once said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. And the most dangerous man you can have around you is the one who has mastered himself." Machiavelli didn't write for the moral, he didn't write for the soft. He wrote for strategists who understood one brutal truth. In a chaotic world, softness gets exploited. So subscribe now and don't miss a single tip that makes you to hold power over others or over your own life. You cannot be predictable. You cannot be ruled by mood. You cannot be driven by comfort. You must become consistent in a way that scares people. Not loud, not aggressive, just unmoved. Because when discipline becomes who you are, something strange happens. People stop testing you. They stop pushing boundaries. They stop trying to manipulate you, not because you threaten them, but because they can feel it. They sense a man who no longer debates with himself, a man whose actions are not negotiable, a man whose standards don't bend under pressure, and that kind of discipline is terrifying, because a man who cannot be broken by his own mind cannot be broken by anything. This is where it begins. You're here because you're exhausted, not physically tired, soul tired. Tired of starting strong and collapsing quietly. Tired of promising yourself change in the morning and betraying yourself by noon. Tired of watching other people rise while you stay trapped in the same cycle. Motivation, effort, excuses, repeat. You don't lack potential, you lack command. And deep down, you know it. You want to break out. You want a mind that doesn't fold under pressure. A mind that doesn't beg for motivation, a mind that keeps moving when comfort screams stop. I'm going to show you how. But understand this first. This is not self-help. This is self-overthrow. We are not polishing the weak version of you. We are dismantling it. The emotional, approval-seeking, excuse-making version of you cannot come with you. It must be replaced. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims." Most men live exactly like that, controlled by impulse, addicted to comfort, ruled by emotion, obedient to distraction, slaves to their phones, slaves to validation, slaves to the opinions of people they don't even respect. And slavery feels normal until you taste control. The moment you step onto this path, something changes. You stop reacting, you stop explaining, you stop negotiating with weakness, you stop trying to be liked, because you realize something dangerous. Being liked makes you predictable. Being disciplined makes you free. When your discipline is visible, people don't argue with you. They adjust to you, not because you threaten them, but because they feel your certainty. That certainty creates distance. That distance creates authority. This is the ruthless philosophy of Machiavelli applied to your daily life. Not politics, not power over others, power over yourself. And here's the real secret. The breakthrough doesn't come from what you add to your life. It comes from what you are willing to remove, what you are willing to let die. Comfort, excuses, emotional indulgence, the need to be understood. Sovereignty has a price. Discipline is the currency. So here's the only question that matters. Are you willing to pay it? Phase 1. The discipline of silence. Machiavelli once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are." Most men do the opposite of power. They talk constantly. They announce their plans before they've earned them. They post the workout before the body exists. They declare a new era while still living the old habits. They look for applause for effort they haven't survived yet. And every time they do that, they sabotage themselves. Because talking releases pressure. It feels like progress without demanding transformation. The engine never turns on because the steam is already gone. This is why average men stay average. You must do the opposite. You must go silent. Real discipline grows in darkness. Silence is not weakness. Silence is containment. When you constantly explain your goals, you are asking permission. You are asking the world, is it okay if I become dangerous? Stop asking. The most dangerous man in any room is not the loudest. It's the one who listens, observes, and says nothing. Silence creates a vacuum, and humans hate vacuums. When you stop explaining yourself, people get uneasy. They start projecting their fears onto you. They wonder what you're building. They wonder why you no longer need their approval. They wonder why their opinions stopped mattering to you. That discomfort is power. Silence becomes your armor. It protects your intent from doubt, interference, and weak energy. When you work in the dark, you gain a rare advantage. You can fail quietly, adjust privately, correct without being judged, grow without being questioned. No commentary, no validation, no spectators. Imagine disappearing for 6 months. No announcements, no explanations, just work. The gym, the mind, the craft, the discipline. You cut the noise, you cut cheap dopamine, you cut people who only recognize you when you're distracted or drunk. You cut the need to be seen, and then you return. But you don't return louder, you return heavier. You don't explain the change, you don't advertise it, you don't demand recognition. Your presence does the talking. They see it in your posture, they hear it in your restraint, they feel it in the way you don't rush, don't overreact, don't seek approval. You don't tell people you changed. They know, because silence didn't make you invisible, it made you dangerous. This is the discipline of the ghost. It unsettles people because it exposes them. Your silence reminds them of their lack of focus. Your absence reminds them how much time they waste. While they were performing for attention, you were accumulating power. Start now. Stop explaining yourself. Explanation is the language of the powerless. The victim explains. The weak justify. The disciplined execute. If you're tired, shut up and work. If you're hurt, shut up and heal. If you're winning, shut up and keep winning. Because results speak in a frequency words can't compete with. And when results arrive, they speak louder than any argument you ever made. Comment this below if you're ready to enter the void. I build in silence. Phase 2. Emotional alchemy. Here's the lie you've been told. That disciplined men are numb, that they don't feel boredom, pain, doubt, or exhaustion. That's nonsense. The disciplined man feels everything. He feels the urge to stay in bed. He feels the sting of rejection. He feels the weight of boredom. He feels the temptation to quit. The difference is simple. He doesn't obey those feelings. Machiavelli once said, "Men are driven by 2 principal impulses, love and fear." Most men try to motivate themselves through love. Love for the grind, love for the vision, Love for the process. That works until it doesn't. At 4 a.m., you won't love the grind. On bad days, passion disappears. Under pressure, motivation evaporates. Passion is unstable. It burns hot, then dies quietly. So you need something colder, something reliable, something ruthless. You need duty. Duty doesn't care how you feel. Duty doesn't negotiate. Duty doesn't ask if today is hard. Duty executes. Emotional alchemy is the skill of converting weakness into fuel. Fatigue becomes proof. Pain becomes information. Fear becomes preparation. Doubt becomes discipline. You don't suppress emotion, you weaponize it. While others wait to feel ready, you move because it's required. That's the shift. You stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" and start asking, "What must be done?" And the moment you make that switch, emotion stops being your master and becomes your resource. That's when discipline stops being effort and becomes identity. Discipline is the skill of moving against your feelings, not with them, not after them, against them. That's emotional alchemy. You take the dead weight of "I don't feel like it" and you convert it into "I did it anyway." And the moment you stop consulting your emotions before you act, you stop being ordinary. You become dangerous. Think about it clearly. If an enemy knows you only move when you're motivated, all they have to do is wait. Wait until you're tired. Wait until you're disappointed. Wait until life hits you and you collapse on schedule. But if you are the man who trains harder when he's exhausted, who focuses deeper when he's angry, who works longer when he's discouraged, you become impossible to time. You become immune to circumstance. That's what unsettles people. They watch you and think, "He should be slowing down by now. He should be braking. He should be emotional." But you don't, because you've severed the connection between feeling and action. You treat emotion like weather. You notice it, you acknowledge it, but you do not negotiate with it. It's raining? Fine. You don't cancel the mission. You put on a coat and move anyway. Machiavelli once said, "A prince who relies entirely on fortune is lost when it changes." Emotion is just another form of fortune, unstable, unreliable, dangerous to depend on. This is the Machiavellian approach to the self. You are the prince. Your emotions are the unruly subjects. You listen to them, you study them, but you do not allow them to rule the kingdom. And when they revolt, you restore order without hesitation. Because a man who commands himself cannot be conquered by anything outside of him. And that's when discipline stops being effort and starts becoming authority. Start training the 3-second rule. When the alarm goes off, you have a window. 3 seconds, that's it. If you hesitate past that, your brain takes over. And your brain is not built for greatness. It's built for comfort, for survival, for staying exactly where you are. The moment you start thinking, the excuses arrive. Just 5 more minutes. You're tired. You'll do it later. That's the trap. So you cut the negotiation. 1, 2, 3, move. No debate, no analysis, no emotion. Thinking is the enemy of execution. Action is the shortcut. In moments of weakness, don't motivate yourself. Command yourself. The body must obey before the mind interferes. Over time, something changes. You stop being a man who tries to be disciplined. You become a system, a machine that executes regardless of mood, energy, or emotion. And this is where freedom begins. When how you feel no longer controls what you do, nothing can hold you hostage anymore. That's how you become untouchable. Phase 3. The weaponization of isolation. Machiavelli once said, "A wise prince relies on what is within his own control, not on what depends on others. Power requires solitude. Growth requires distance. Clarity requires silence. Look at your circle. Really look. The 5 people you spend the most time with, are they sharpening you or keeping you comfortable? Most men are terrified of being alone. They drown every quiet moment in noise. Podcasts, music, scrolling, messages, anything to avoid sitting with their own thoughts. Because in silence, the truth speaks, and the truth says, you're wasting potential. To become truly, terrifyingly disciplined, you must embrace isolation, not occasionally, intentionally. You have to be willing to walk away from people who do not serve the mission. This sounds cruel. It is. But it's not evil. It's necessary. Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." And the first thing you must command is distance. When you start to rise, people will try to pull you back, not because they hate you, but because your growth exposes their stagnation. You become a mirror. When you get in shape, the unhealthy friend feels judged. When you build discipline, the lazy friend feels attacked. When you chase excellence, the average feel uncomfortable, so they say things like, "You've changed. You're obsessed. You're not fun anymore." Good. Fun is the currency of the average. You are not here to be entertaining. You are here to be dangerous. You must get comfortable being the villain in someone else's story. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them say you think you're better than everyone else. You don't. You simply refuse to lower your standards so others can feel safe in their weakness. Isolation is not punishment. It is the laboratory of greatness. In solitude, the noise disappears. Opinions fade. Masks fall. You hear your own voice again. Your vision sharpens. Your priorities become ruthless and clear. This is why you must schedule withdrawal. Monk mode, deep work. Call it whatever you want. Lock the door. Silence the phone. Face the work. In that space, you will meet boredom. You will meet anxiety. You will meet every excuse you've been running from, and you will fight them alone. And when you win those battles in the dark, you walk back into the world with a confidence that cannot be taught, cannot be copied, and cannot be faked, because it was forged where no one was watching. If you're ready to choose growth over comfort, comment, "I choose isolation." People feel this shift. They sense a man who doesn't need them, and paradoxically, that is exactly what makes them gravitate toward you. The man who is comfortable alone becomes magnetic, because he is the only one in the room not trying to extract validation, attention, approval, or energy. He is already full. He doesn't chase. He doesn't cling. He doesn't perform. And that calm self-sufficiency signals power on a primal level. Now we enter phase 4, the power of unpredictability. Machiavelli once said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is held by obligation, and obligation is broken whenever it suits self-interest. Fear is maintained by dread of consequence, which never fails." This is not about cruelty, it is about control. An undisciplined man is predictable. People know exactly where he breaks. They know he quits when it gets hard. They know he complains when things don't go his way. They know if they apply enough pressure, he will fold. That makes him easy to manipulate, because his weaknesses are public. But discipline destroys predictability. When you become disciplined, you become a glitch in their mental system. Someone insults you. You don't react. You pause. You observe. Then you return to your work. A crisis hits. You don't panic. You slow down. You analyze. You lose money. You don't spiral. You adjust. You rebuild. This absence of reaction is deeply unsettling to manipulative people. They rely on emotional spikes, anger, fear, ego, guilt. Those are the buttons they press to control others. But when the buttons stop working, they lose leverage. They push, nothing happens. They provoke, no reaction. They threaten, you stay calm. And that silence tells them something terrifying. They can no longer predict you. They can no longer move you. They can no longer control you. At this point, people either respect you or fear you, or remove themselves from your life. All three outcomes work in your favor, because a disciplined, unpredictable man cannot be played, and a man who cannot be played cannot be dominated. Now ask yourself, and answer honestly in the comments, if people lost the ability to predict your reactions tomorrow, who in your life would lose power over you first? Your consistency becomes your weapon. Imagine a man who shows up every single day. No speeches, no excuses, no emotional performances. He doesn't complain when it's hard. He doesn't brag when it works. He simply executes, day after day, year after year. You can't stop him. You can't discourage him. You can't distract him. That man is terrifying because he is inevitable. This is the man you are building. Not loud, not aggressive, not desperate, implacable, like a glacier, slow, silent, unapologetic, crushing everything in its path without ever raising its voice. To become this, you must kill one specific weakness inside yourself, the need for sympathy. Stop explaining your struggles. Stop advertising your bad days. Stop turning pain into content. Stop looking for comfort from people who can't help you win. The moment you seek sympathy, you expose yourself. You show the world where you bleed. You reveal the pressure points that can be used against you. Machiavelli once said, "Never let others see the wounds they did not earn." Not because you're ashamed, but because power weakens the moment suffering becomes public. You stand up straight. You fix your posture, you control your face, you move with intention. Even when your world is collapsing internally, you do not let it leak externally. This is not pretending, this is positioning. You are framing reality before others frame it for you. You are telling the world, without words, I am in control. And here's the truth most people don't understand. Acting in control trains you to be in control. Composure creates confidence. Consistency creates authority. And authority creates freedom. Soon, people stop asking how you're doing. They start assuming you're handling it. Soon, they stop doubting you. They start expecting results. And one day, without announcing it, you become the man others measure themselves against. Now answer this honestly in the comments. What habit, emotion, or excuse do you need to kill to become inevitable? Phase 5. The standard of the absolute. Why do you keep failing? Not because you lack motivation, not because you lack talent, not because life is unfair. You fail because your standards are weak. You've accepted a version of reality where trying is enough, where almost counts, where effort gets applause even when results don't exist. That mindset is poison. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. And right now, your floor is too low. Machiavelli studied empires that once ruled the world, Rome, Sparta. They weren't destroyed by stronger enemies. They collapsed from the inside. They lost discipline. They chose comfort over control. Luxury softened them before war ever touched them. Machiavelli once said, "Men are more quickly corrupted by luxury than destroyed by force." Look around you. You live in the most comfortable era in human history. Heat at the push of a button, food without effort, entertainment without limit, pornography on demand, sugar, drugs, distraction everywhere. Everything around you is designed to sedate you, to dull your edge, to keep you soft, satisfied, and controllable. In this world, discipline is rebellion. To be sharp where others are numb, to be hungry where others are full, to be precise where others are careless. You must declare war on comfort. You raise your standards to a level that makes people uncomfortable. You wake up earlier than necessary. You check details others ignore. You refuse what others indulge in, not because you're better, but because you're not them. That's the internal code. You don't announce it. You don't explain it. You live it. When you hold yourself to an absolute standard, something dangerous happens. Your existence exposes mediocrity. People feel attacked, not by your words, but by your discipline. Your consistency challenges their excuses. Your restraint highlights their lack of control, so they label you crazy, obsessed, extreme, good. It's easier for them to judge you than to confront the truth that you did what they refused to do. Let them talk. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. The Machiavellian man does not shrink himself to be understood by fools. He does not explain. He does not beg for clarity. He does not slow down to make others comfortable. He forces the world to rise to his level, or he walks away and leaves it behind. Machiavelli once said, "He who adapts his policy to the times prospers, and likewise he who adapts his policy against the times does not." You must become ruthless with your time. Time is the only currency you can never earn back. Money returns, energy recovers, reputation can be rebuilt. Time is gone forever. Every minute you spend arguing with idiots, scrolling meaningless content, explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, or stressing over things outside your control is a minute stolen from the empire you haven't built yet. And thieves rarely announce themselves. They look like distractions. They sound like conversations. They feel like comfort. Guard your time like a dragon guards gold. Be inaccessible by default. Be brief when you speak. Be direct when you act. You don't owe everyone access. You don't owe anyone constant availability. And you certainly don't owe explanations for protecting your focus. When people realize your time is expensive, they stop wasting it. When they realize your attention is rare, they respect it. When they understand you are not always available, they value the moments you are. Discipline creates scarcity. Scarcity creates value. By becoming so disciplined that your execution feels almost mechanical, you remove yourself from the noise of competition entirely. Most people are fighting for space at the bottom, arguing, comparing, distracting each other in the average bracket. But the top is different. The air is thinner because few have the lungs to climb that high. The silence is heavier because weak minds cannot survive without noise. The view is clearer because distractions don't make it that far. This is where power lives. This is where discipline stops being a habit and becomes an identity. And to step fully into this level, one thing must die. Phase 6. The death of the old self. This is the hardest part, not because it's complicated, but because it's final. This is where you hold the funeral, because to become the version of you that unsettles people, the version that doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, doesn't beg, you have to kill the man you used to be. You have to kill the version of you that needs to be liked, the version that explains himself, the version that apologizes for wanting more. The version that asks permission to become dangerous. You must look at your past, the mistakes, the humiliation, the trauma, the weak moments, and close the door without nostalgia. No speeches, no excuses, no looking back. Machiavelli once said, "There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others." Understand this clearly. You are at war with your former self. If you don't end him, he will sabotage you quietly. He will wait until you're tired, until you're lonely, until discipline hurts. Then he will whisper, "Just rest today. Just one drink. Just skip it this once." That voice is not comfort, it is treason. You must be ruthless. This is not self-improvement, this is self-replacement. You are shedding skin. It burns, it leaves you exposed, but it is the only way growth happens. And yes, there will be casualties. You may lose friends who only liked the old you. You may lose a partner who benefited from your weakness. You may be misunderstood by family who preferred you smaller. That is the tax. Do not complain about the tax. Do not negotiate the tax. Pay it, because on the other side of this death is something rare, a version of you that is leaner, colder, faster in decision and slower to react, a version of you that moves on logic, not emotion, a version of you that no longer lives inside stories but sees the world clearly, like a chessboard. And once this version is born, there is no going back. This new version of you is unsettling, even to you. And that's good. Power has always been uncomfortable. What you're building isn't power over others. That's cheap, fragile, temporary. You're building power over yourself, and that is dominance. When you walk into a room with total self-command, something shifts. You don't rush. You don't scan for approval. You don't try to prove anything. Yet people move out of your way. They don't know why. They just feel it. You carry the presence of someone who cannot be pressured, cannot be rushed, cannot be bent. You have that look now, the look of a man who stared into the abyss and didn't look away, the look of someone who fought his own mind and won. There is no greater victory. The Stoics understood it. Machiavelli understood it. Machiavelli once said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him, but the truest measure is how well he governs himself." And this is what changes when you commit fully. The noise stops. That low-level anxiety that followed you for years, the buzzing, the restlessness, the sense that something was wrong, it fades. Because anxiety is not mystery, it's dishonesty. It comes from knowing you're unprepared, from knowing you're procrastinating, from knowing you're betraying your own standards. Discipline silences that voice. When you do what you said you would do every day, your mind relaxes, not because life gets easier, but because you finally trust yourself. You stop overthinking because there's nothing left to negotiate. You stop doubting because your actions speak for you. You stop fearing the future because you know, no matter what happens, you will handle it. This is the calm of the dangerous man, not loud, not emotional, not reactive, just ready. And once you reach this state, people can feel it immediately. They argue less with you. They test you less. They sense that games won't work here, because a man who governs himself doesn't need to dominate others. He already won the hardest war. When you are truly disciplined, you have nothing to hide. You know who you are. You know exactly what you're capable of. That's why the future stops frightening you, because you're already building it with your own hands. Other people stop intimidating you, because you know they cannot outwork you. Failure stops scaring you, because you understand something most never will. Failure is not an ending, it's data. And that's when freedom begins. Machiavelli learned this the hard way. He wrote his philosophy in exile, stripped of status, tortured, cast out. And in that darkness, he saw reality clearly. Machiavelli once said, "The world belongs to those who understand it, not to those who wish it were different." He didn't need applause. He didn't need approval. He needed truth. And discipline is your truth. They can take your money, they can take your job, they can destroy your reputation, but they cannot take your discipline. They cannot take your ability to endure. That is your fortress. That is your throne. This is your advantage. While they grow weaker, you grow harder. While they scatter their attention, you sharpen your focus. While they chase comfort, you chase the edge. If you made it this far, you are not average. Prove it. And if something in this journey woke you up, if a single sentence in this video cracked the shell you've been hiding in, if you felt the old version of you start to tremble, that means you're ready for what comes next. Stay with me. And if it woke the part of you that refuses to die quietly, share it with someone who needs it, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and take the next step. This is only the beginning.